Dear students, today we will talk about chapter number 4. This chapter is dealing with the business technology or enterprise technologies along with the big data business intelligence. So we will correlate that how business intelligence is related to the big data and the business technologies. So the first diagram, which is a figure 4.1. In this diagram, we can see the normal transaction which is being done on the daily basis in supermarkets or in companies or in industrials organizations. So, and online businesses like Amazon, AliExpress, or in petrochemical industries like Aramco, Babco. So or Weatherford, Shell. So all these they have like daily transaction business processes, and these data are stored in a database, and that database we normally call as RDBMS. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System, and it is usually managed through different softwares like Oracle is one of the most popular software company they are like managing the databases on individual basis or at company basis or at higher level, and they're also managing the cloud as well. So and then we have some open source like MySQL, we have it, and we have Microsoft SQL Server, um, which is being like worked with through different APIs that can be done. So while if you look at this one, what we have here, OLTP is like online transaction processing. So here the normal data is kept, which is the current data. And in this data, what we have it that day-to-day operations data is kept over here. While in the second one, if you see OLAP, so in OLAP, what is being done over here? OLAP is an advanced form of the daily transaction data, and where we keep the old data or the historical data into warehouses in a specific manner, that so that we could use less space and we can use like less processing time over there. So for example, data which was already obtained from the OLTP is stored in a database is, for example, 5 years data, 10 years data, or maybe like 1 month old data, which is not changeable, which is non-volatile, which is not changing. For example, if you have bought some laptops, or sometime the validity to change your laptop is maybe 10 days. So after 10 days, the data goes to or transfer is to the data warehouses, and there is no more changes in that one. Why? Because that becomes non retrieval or non the data which is not changeable, right? So usually the data in OLAP is fixed and it is not changed, while in the data in OLTP is changeable. For example, if your validity of changing some products is 10 days, so in 10 days you can go and change the data in the using the OLTP world. But while on the OLAP, the data is very rarely changed until and unless there is a high approval from the higher management. And here we have multi-dimensional data. So usually in the data warehouse, we store the data in 3 dimensionals, like instead of 2 dimensional. In the relational database, we store the data in tables form, which is a 2 dimensional rows and columns, while in data warehouse we store the data in 3 dimensional, like X, Y, and Z. So like X could be like the sales of any product, Y could be the price of any product, and Z could be the timeline every year, that how much was sales every year, for example 2001, 2002 till 2023. Okay, so here there's a very popular technique which is called ETL. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load, right? So this process, like extract the data from structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data, and then it is loaded into a RDBMS for further usages. So RDBMS, it keeps the data into a proper manner. Sometimes we do some batch processing, especially in banks or some other organization. For example, if they want to like transfer the salaries, so on a specific date, for example, first of any month or before that one, so they have to do the batch processing so that all the employees they get the salaries in the same time. So a batch is usually is done periodically. Load the data into the data warehouse from operational data like ERP, like enterprise resource planning, CRM from the downstream, which is customer relationship management, and the SCM, supply chain management. So this data is usually operational, and you can do some periodical changes with that one using the batch function. So batch function is a set of commands which is executed at a specific time. It could be executed with the triggers. If, for example, if you keep the trigger of time and date, for example, a specific query is executed on 2nd of November 2023, so you can keep that time, and when the date is changed from 2nd of November, from 1st of November to the 2nd of November, the specific query will be executed. And now we have a data warehouse. Single version of truth is based on cleansed data. So what we needed, we need the data from OLTP, CRM, ERP, and SCM. So even the sensor data, and the data is extracted using the technique which is called ETL. So ETL means like extract and then transform and then load into the data warehouse. So we have the data warehouse here, enterprise data warehouse. EDW means enterprise data warehouse, and they have data warehouse in the shape of the OLAP, right? And then we have some data marts. So what is the data marts? When we store the data with respect to a specific subject, like all the financial data in this one, in the first data mart, and in the second marketing in the second data mart, and in the sales in the third data mart. And then we can also visualize financial data from the specific data mart, right? So from data warehousing, the information is very generic. There is no like subject oriented, but in data mart the data is subject oriented. So what we have it, so we need some tools to extract the data from OLTP, which is the current data, and also from OLAV, which is the historical data. So we need some BI tool, business intelligence tool. So for that one, the most popular is Power BI. People use it to visualize their data either from OLTP or from OLAP. So it could be different, figures or diagrams or charts. We can use Excel sheet as well. We can use Power BI, and we can use Tableau. So we have variety of visualization tools. So either can be used. And this is the example for traditional BI, that how the traditional BI looks like. That from enterprise data warehousing, we have data warehouse and data mart, and we can visualize our dashboard. And from this data visualization, we can also apply some analysis using the exploratory data analysis or data mining techniques. So in this 4.9, there is a next generation data warehouse needs to be constructed. That so the difference between figure 4.8 and figure 4.9 is the use of this semi-structured and unstructured data. So nowadays, because of social media, because of the big data, we have because of the sensor data, we have a semi-structured data in the shape of XML and JSON, and we have unstructured data in the shape of comments on the social media, in the shape of images, in the shape of um, videos, audios. So these are different unstructured data. So since it's hard to keep track of this one, so the next generation is about that how we can handle the big data. So that's why there's a high need to analyze big data, because a lot of informations can be achieved, although there is some security problems, but that could be managed along with that. Thank you very much.